You know, I'm getting fed up watching this lot whizzing around the track doing their thing. I think it's about time I did my thing. So, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go and steal a Fireblade. Well, wouldn't you just know it? The moment I unzipped my kit bag, the heavens opened, sending most riders into the stands, happy to just sit there and watch others sliding their way around this slippery Assen circuit. Even the track instructors were praying for a change in the weather. But not to be deterred, I pressed on. These were far from ideal track day conditions, but you can't go all the way to Assen and then go home having not ridden round the circuit. Perhaps a slightly more user-friendly 600 would have been better suited to these conditions than the fearsome power of this new fuel-injected Honda Fireblade. But at least, like all the other riders, I could say I'd been there, done it, and lived to tell the tale. With standing water now on the track, this just about brought an end to the day's proceedings. Some of the bikes returned to the hotel, a little battered and bruised, but I'm glad to report that all of the riders made it safely back in one piece. This gave me a chance to catch up with some of them for their thoughts on the day. Right, it's catch-up time. We spoke to Steve and Pete earlier on before they went out on the track. And I said I'd catch up with you. So you're smiling, Steve.
Yeah.
Tell me all about it.
It was great. It was great. First of all, I'm stood up, and me and my bike are in one piece, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a great day. Great day. Rained in the afternoon, but the mornings was superb.
Okay.
Superb.
Pete, go on. Tell me the same.
Yeah, it was terrific.
Yeah.
Yeah, quick morning in the dry, and learnt a hell of a lot in the wet later on. Yeah, never stopped learning.
You went out in the... A lot of people didn't go out in the wet. Well, I say a lot. Some didn't go out in the wet. You chose to carry on.
Yeah, well, I actually frazzed my brakes, so I didn't need them so much in the wet really. So it's quite good fun.
Have you learned a lot?
Yeah. I mean, I've got a fairly new bike, an R1, and enough's been said about that.
A very fancy R1.
A bit of a fancy R1.
I just had that. Yeah.
Dynamite SP, which is nice.
Yeah.
And it was nice to take a bike like that, which you can't really put through its paces on a road unless you're a complete lunatic.
Right.
And it's nice to put a bike like that on a track
and
let's say, all right, let's see what we can do in sensible circumstances with decent instructors to say, you know, you're doing it wrong here, you're getting it right there, or whatever. And it was great actually.
The instructors were good, weren't they? Them Dutch guys were pretty good. You were impressed with them?
They were very good. They made us all look. They made us feel this big later on in the day, pulling wheelies down that straight in the wet.
Right.
And
we all thought we were doing well, weren't we? So we looked at them.
Yeah, no, they were good because they said a little, but talked a lot, and what they said made sense. And they were saying things after a first session, saying, you know, put it right here, put it right there, and say, yeah, I was doing that, and I was doing that, and it was great. It was absolutely spot on.
Great.
And they didn't mess you about and talk crap, and it was just straight on.
Good stuff. And a very careful, steady ride back to Cali, I don't.
Well, it's a long road trip, 300 miles on the Autobahn, which is a bit of a long day. I think if I came again, and I would come here again, I'd probably come back in the back of a van, bring the bikes in a van, and stay in a great hotel. It's great fun, and come in a van next time. It's a long trip up.
Now this man's had the cheapest weekend of all, Jay. You've had a very cheap weekend, haven't you? Tell me why.
Indeed, I've. Well, you've been buying all the beers, first of all.
I've bought most of them, yeah, but go on.
No,
You won it or something?
I won, yeah. Bennett's Insurance had this prize draw that they were running, and I didn't even know about it, but I got a quote with them.
Yeah.
And a couple of weeks later, I get this message on my phone saying, "Oh, you've won the weekend up in Assen." So
you thought it was a wind-up, probably, did you?
I thought it was one of my mates thinking,
it's not a
winding me up. No,
you're really here.
I am.
And you're not even on your own bike, are you?
I'm not. I've got a very trusting friend. Cheers, Big Paul. That's lent me his bike.
What's that? GSXR?
GSXR 1100.
Right.
So it's been really good. I mean, I was a bit scared this afternoon because it got wet.
Yeah, I got a bit slippy.
And I was taking it easy, but it's been very good.
You want to do the lottery, because you've won a draw that you didn't even know you were in.
Yeah.
Your mate's lent you his bike. I don't know. But you've not been on the track before. That was
it's first time. First
time on the track, and you've done Assen.
That's right.
What was it like for the first time? Was it scary?
Well, I must admit, I was a bit scared at first.
Right.
Well, you see the guys on big bikes, and you know that they can ride, and you feel a bit, oops. So it was a bit scary at first. I just started off in the beginners group.
Yeah.
Just took my time, went at my own pace. I didn't want to drop it. The plan was to come here and get home safely.
Exactly. That's number one, isn't it?
I suppose just starting off slowly, getting to know the track and the corners. But it's such a great feeling being on the track.
It's
I
the
mean,
best place to ride a motorbike.
it
I've
is-
always said that.
There's
isn't it?
there's no Volvos, there's no curbs.
There's nothing coming the other way. That's all them
and you
things,
got you got a nice track, you got a nice surface,
Yeah.
and it's the same every time
And
you
you've
go
probably
around.
learnt a lot, have you?
I think I have. Yeah, I mean,
think you do. Yeah.
it does. I think a lot of people should do it because
Right.
it really does improve your riding. You see
does.
what your weaknesses are.
Yeah, without
where-
a doubt. Yeah. So you're going to go on some more track days now, are you? Is this the start of something?
I think I've got the bug.
You
Yeah,
got the bug now.
It's been great.
Cost you a few bob from now on, mate.
I know.
Well, cheers and have a nice, safe journey home tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you very much,
You're
mate.
welcome. All the very best.
Last thing for you.
What's that? Get out of it.
I had a good day. Assen is an experience,
Yeah.
a one-time in a million experience. I really enjoyed it. I don't really know what to say.
And you'll come again?
Definitely.
That'll do. That's all you
Definitely,
need to
definitely
say.
with Fowlers.
That's all you need to say.
Definitely. That was great. Thank you very much.
Well, it's the morning after the night before, the day after the Lord Mayor's show, as they say. And it was some show, I can tell you. I've never seen scenes in a bowling alley quite like the scenes in this hotel last night. But that's it. Assen is all over. All these guys are coming out here this morning, some very stiff, wobbly legs and some very red eyes. And they've got 300-mile plus journey now back to Calais. Cross on the boat and then maybe 3 or 4 hours in the UK to the home. I don't envy them. I've got to wait for a taxi and then catch a plane. It's a tough life.